Welcome back. And moving on to our first segment for today, talking about the Grand Egyptian Museum. And I believe that all or the whole world now is waiting to find out more about the Grand Egyptian Museum, displaying some unique pieces and also many different actually surprises to those who are going to visit the museum. Over the phone, we have Mr. Ahmed Nour. He is the head of the Guides Syndicate in Giza and Upper Egypt. Hello.
Hello, Nashwa. Good morning.
Good morning. So, talking about the Grand Egyptian Museum, and I believe this is the event of the world.
Yes, it is the event of the world because we are waiting, that many years we are waiting the opening of this gem or the Grand Egyptian Museum, and all the world, we have friends all over the world are waiting the opening of this museum. This event is, I think, this is the most important event that we are waiting in Egypt this year, from 2 or 3 years ago, and I hope that we will be, the museum will be opening in next year, inshallah. All the world and friends all over the world are waiting and asking. And many tourists and friends are waiting to visit Egypt when it will be open, the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Even before we talk about the museum from inside, talking about the location of the museum, all the infrastructure taking place around facilitating the area or the route to the visitors of the museum, in addition to the transferring of some unique pieces to be surrounding the museum as well, making just something like a masterpiece located over there, in addition, of course, to the grand location of the Giza Pyramids Plateau.
The location of the museum itself is so important because the panorama of the view of the museum, the background of the museum is the 3 pyramids of Giza, Cheops, Khafre, and Mykonos. So important when you are going to see or to visit the Grand Egyptian Museum, to have the background, the famous place in all the world, the pyramids of Giza, is so important, the location itself, and also to connect between the museum and the pyramid. It will make it so easy and will save time for those who will visit the museum and the pyramid, because usually in the itinerary we have the visit of pyramid and the museum in the same time. But I think that the museum itself is so big and many pieces, maybe it will need many hours to visit and to see. The masterpieces and these monuments that we brought from different sites, scenes, and different places, like the hanging obelisk of Ramses II, that it comes from Tanis Delta to the north. The other huge statue of Ramses II also in the Grand Gallery. The victory column of Merim Betah. Many of these masterpieces in the area or surrounding the area of the museum, and the other collection, many thousands of pieces that will be inside the museum, especially for the first time we are going to see the collection of Tutankhamun, the complete collection of Tutankhamun in one place. This will be for the first time in history, and after the discovery of Tutankhamun, it was inside his tomb, but after that, many of these pieces went to the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square, other in Luxor Temple, other in Hurghada Temple, in exhibition outside of Egypt. So for the first time to see the complete pieces of Tutankhamun in one place, it will be in the Grand Egyptian Museum. So this is so important.
Well, also by following up on all the procedures over there and measures adopted for the opening and the different methods of displaying the items over there using the up-to-date latest technology as well. Let's first focus on the concept of the display itself all around.
Really, this museum maybe started in other museums to use technology more than before. In this museum, when we speak about the area itself around the museum, not inside, they are preparing all and make it easy to go to the museum. First, the road around the museum, the metro will arrive there. We have another method of transportation also. The area itself around the museum, they prepared all this area of Ramaya Square and the area around. This is a work we noticed that we worked many years ago till now. They are finishing this work. But inside the museum itself, the gallery and the halls, to have this intelligent technology inside the museum itself in a part, sure that guiding is tour guiding will be organized like any other museum, but also in some pieces to explain, maybe started the National Museum of Civilization, and in this, the Grand Egyptian Museum will be more to this intelligent technology to explain, for example, how they made operation. You see that when we speak about the operation or medicine in ancient Egypt or a construction of one piece of a pyramid, when you will stay in front of one of these pieces, you will see how they explaining how they started. You can see and you can hear the explanation itself in front of you to imagine how they reached to make an operation in ancient Egypt or a construction of one piece. Instead of saying also, you are hearing and watching and seeing that beside the piece. So this is important part also of the intelligent technology that are using in some of the halls inside the gym or the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Well, if you're going to describe it, or can we say something like it is going to be an educational complex or cultural complex, because the museum is not only going to serve as a museum displaying items, but also we have many other activities, many different items behind, whether we're talking about educational sessions taking place, opening doors for children, methods for special needs, also different things actually. Tell us more about it and how important it is.
It's so important when we had one of the association like the Friends of the Museum in Egyptian Museum at Tahrir, for example. It was so important and started after that with children to come one day each week in their holiday at Friday. This generation, these children started to love, first to know and to know more about their history, about their grandfather and grandmother, about their country, about their history. These children nowadays, some of them are archaeologists, some of them are guides, some of them in other work, but they love their monuments. They will be able to protect their monuments and also to explain for their neighbors and their friends when they will come to visit. This is one of this to start with children, and this museum has a part to do that. other also thinking to make it easy for those people also who will not be able to do a normal visit, how to help them and they prepare a place and a route for them also. This is exists in the Grand Egyptian Museum. We can see that. The place itself or the museum, not only a museum to visit a monument, but it has many galleries. It has cultural point, to make some like theater, I don't like to say like cinema, but it is. We have places also to make celebrations in the museum, connecting with this cultural place and with this Egyptian history and monuments.
Also, it is associated with some of the up-to-date labs as well, right?
I don't catch this sentence.
Yes. I'm talking about the labs over there where they are testing and working on some of the pieces as well.
Yes, sure. They started that before the opening of the museum also. When we had seen the work in the museum, they made like three halls also, or three places. One of these places to make the restoration and for all the pieces that they are trying from other museums. One for metal, other for wood, and other for the stones, to see also and to watch the work that they are doing, and will continue. And in this museum, for the first time, they prepared everything before, so it took more time. Because everything, we have Egyptian group of restoration, and also to organize the vitrine and the halls inside the museum, maybe for the first time to see this in the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Well, I was lucky to visit the Grand Egyptian Museum several times, following on with many different stages. And I would like to talk about something that really we were all impressed by, the huge number of youth working over there, whether those working in the labs or restorations, or those who are working in general along. So tell us more about this point.
It is really right, because the number is a big number. Because, like I said, we have a department for everything. For example, those who working only in restoration, because you know that they removed many pieces from other sightseeing and other museums. So to be sure that each piece arrived well, and they have to check, and then to do also restoration for that it needed before the transportation also, because some of these pieces from stores of some sightseeing, other monuments come from other museums, and the other pieces come from the new excavations, like the sarcophagus that they found in Asasif or at Saqqara. So they had to check, they must check first and make the cleaning and the restoration that it needs. And also after the transportation, they have to check again. This is a part, only the restoration is a big part, and a number of colleagues and archaeologists and friends who are working there. After that, we have a number of local guides now working in the gym, in the museum, to explain what happened till now and what existed till now, and what is where will be the places of the monuments, the places of the restaurant, the places of the shops of the place which is dedicated for the celebration, other number also of some colleagues who organize the halls. It is and also other group who make the light, because in this museum also you will see the modern, like we mentioned, technology for each hall, and each one maybe it has something different than the other. With the number, we speak about thousands and thousands of pieces. Only the collection of Tutankhamun, more than 5,000 pieces to organize and to put each one in its place is not easy. Also, so is a big number of workers also, and the people also who are watching and who are the guardians. Is many departments, so is a big number who are working now, and you can imagine with all this number, it may be the many years we are preparing, and hope that we will finish the work and will be opening next year.
When we talk about the technique of display of the items in the museum in general, how far can the technique itself attract people to follow and to find out or to explore more about the museum?
The technique of the museum, maybe in this museum will be different. So each hall may like a museum itself. For example, when we speak about the Egyptian museum, we can follow from prehistoric period, after that all the kingdom, middle kingdom, new kingdom, and then the collection of Tutankhamun. This museum has, for example, museum of the boats. So we have the two famous boats or ships of Khufu or Cheops, that it was to the south of his pyramid. So you can go to a museum of boat inside the museum, inside the Grand Egyptian Museum, like a small museum inside the big one. When you will go to see the collection of Tutankhamun, will be like another museum, because this is maybe only some people will go to see the collection of King Tutankhamun. Some will be interesting to see the boats of the solar boat of King Khufu, with the other ones that they already discovered, besides the famous one which was discovered both in 1954. So this will be a museum inside the museum. The other collection from different periods. Also, it will be in another halls to see, like the National Museum of Civilization. You will see a collection for different periods in the same hall. In this Grand Egyptian Museum, I think that each hall will be like a small museum inside the big museum. So it will. It is interesting also for some students, if they like to see only Tutankhamun or to study or to learn, you will be in the same hall to see all the collection together, not like the other museum, one piece in the first and second floor, and one piece will be in this hall, other in this hall. This will be like a small museum, independent inside the big museum.
Right, Mr. Ahmed Noureddin, head of the Guide Syndicate in Giza and Upper Egypt, thank you very much for joining us. Right, moving on to a quick break, then we'll be back with more on the Breakfast Show.